the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thanks for joining us on this Monday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. Happening right now, massive protests are underway at this hour with protesters calling for a ceasefire in the Middle East. The Associated Press is reporting an expected Israel invasion in the Gaza Strip. Israel says the invasion is to eliminate Hamas's leadership.
And they're calling on President Biden to stop the invasion, which experts would predict would take thousands of lives. DC News Now's political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming is live right outside the White House. Leonard, what's it like out there?
Mark and Annalisa, these protesters are very, very serious. And as you can see behind me, I'm going to step out of the way. Every entrance is blocked to the White House. And they tell me they aren't leaving until President Biden, a supporter of Israel's right to defend itself, calls on the Israeli government not to invade Gaza in search of Hamas terrorists. Chanting no ceasefire, no exit. Hundreds of protesters opposed to the Israeli invasion into Gaza are blocking every exit in or out of the White House. Some are singing songs, others are using bullhorns to give speeches. Few have been detained by Secret Service in front of the White House. All are calling on President Biden to force Israel to call off its invasion of Gaza after more than 1,000 people were killed by a surprise Hamas attack and kidnapping. Here is Alana Lehrman of Philadelphia, who is Jewish and wants an end to the skirmish.
We are not leaving until there's a ceasefire. Like, none of us are willing to have the genocide of Palestinian people done in our name. We will not stand for another genocide that happens in our name. And my grandfather survived 7 concentration camps in the Holocaust. And I know if he were alive right now, he would be so angry.
And as I mentioned earlier, these protesters are starting to gather. More and more are coming, and they're blocking, as I mentioned, every single entrance to the White House. Guys?
Well, Leonard, you said that all the entrances are blocked. Is the protest large at every exit?
Yes, that seems to be the case. We went to 4 of these entrances since about 2 o'clock, and as we've seen in person with our own eyes, more and more protesters are gathering, and they're about to have a press briefing here shortly at the executive entrance here behind me. Reporting from outside of the White House, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. Meanwhile, the situation in Israel and Gaza continues to worsen as thousands of civilians in both areas are trapped in that crossfire. Israeli authorities have reported at least 1,400 deaths since Hamas launched surprise attacks on October 7th. And in Gaza, the Palestinian Ministry of Health reports nearly 2,700 Palestinians have been killed in airstrikes from Israel, with nearly 10,000 more hurt.
And authorities in Gaza are now facing a near humanitarian crisis more than a week since Israel stopped supplying water, power, and medicine. And outside help has been blocked by continuing Israeli airstrikes. Well, according to the Associated Press, we'll hear more from our Capitol Hill correspondent. That's coming up at 4:20. Also happening right now in the district, police are on scene of a shooting near a busy shopping center on Maryland Avenue Northeast. Police tell us that violent crimes has been called to investigate. One adult male was shot, and D.C. police say that he was conscious and breathing at last update. Stay here with us online and here on air for any updates that we get in.
All right, switching gears closer to home. This is a live look at Roslyn now. Looking a little bit cloudy, but I will say this is an improvement from the weekend, Mark. And meteorologist Damon Matson joining us to break down what's ahead for the rest of the evening.
Yes. Damon, that weekend we talked about at noon had created some challenges, a much different day today.
Yeah, no question. Sorry about that, Mark. But yeah, I mean, hey, we are seeing at least no rainfall out there at this current hour across much of the area. The clouds are a different story. But if you woke up earlier this morning, it was a beautiful start to the day. And our own Annalisa Gale Yes, this is her picture from earlier with that blue sky, and how about the fall color in the background? So talk about improvements from the weekend. This is just a beautiful way to kick off the day. So nice seeing that fall color in the blue sky for a little bit. Now, again, the blue sky is all but gone across the region. As far as rainfall is concerned, there have been some very light pockets of drizzle, if not mist, trying to fall across the northern half of the area, but that's been about it. Now, the cloud cover, tough to see on that last satellite view, but here, with a different look at it, we have a lot of white and gray, and that is all of that passing cloud cover that turned things, for the most part, gray in the sky as we've gone throughout the afternoon, now heading on toward the evening. But all of that cloud cover, again, should not amount to really any rainfall. We're going to continue to see a lot of clouds straight into the night, potentially a couple of spotty showers developing out over the higher terrain. But even with the clouds around, it will turn into a chilly one here soon, with temperatures falling out of the 60s and into the 50s. So as we go on toward our Tuesday and Wednesday, the next few days, could there be more sunshine in play as we head toward the middle of the week? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Turning to Maryland now, where students and staff at Buoy State University are back in the classroom today after a week of canceled classes. Classes were canceled following a shooting that took place during homecoming about a week ago. DC News Now's Lex Juarez looks at the changes made on the campus since then.
Right, and you can see it in action right now. They're going to be increasing the number of security that people are seeing as they come onto campus and are on campus. Not only the number of security, but also marked vehicles that will be visible for these students and faculty. While this is one measure already in place, there are others being considered as well, and other new measures that we're seeing today. Now, school gates and checkpoints have new and more strict guidelines for letting people onto campus, and they're going to be staffed by security 24 hours a day. On top of that, there's also an updated campus alert system that's now in place. Now, the measures that the university is looking into potentially adding, the Office of Campus Security is looking into using an AI weapons detection system, adding metal detectors to residential housing, upgrading outdoor lighting, and adding more license plate readers throughout the campus. And we know this shooting is still fresh on the minds of students and faculty this morning as they are heading back to class, but they do say that seeing the action from the university that's already been taken is making them feel better. They say this is a good step forward as they head back to the classroom today.
It definitely makes me feel safer, I'll say that. You know, having these checks, making sure that we are aware of who's actually on campus, I think it's for the better.
One other thing campus security is looking into is an active shooter training for faculty and staff. In Buoy, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Lex, thank you. In Suffolk, Virginia, 12 children and a bus driver were hurt when their bus flipped over this morning. Those pictures that you see there are taken by Suffolk rescue crews, and we're told the crash happened around 9:30 a.m. Everyone hurt was taken to a hospital with minor injuries, and parents were notified immediately. Today starts the first day of National School Week bus safety. Well, heads up, Virginians, if you plan on voting in the upcoming election, today's the deadline to register to vote or update an existing registration. After today, you'll have the option to register to vote through Election Day using a provisional ballot. The deadline for that is October 27th. Other important dates: voter registration offices open for early voting on Saturday, October 28th, and the last day of in-person early voting is Saturday, November 4th.
Well, developing now also in Virginia, thousands of Arlington County public school employees and their family members will be forced to switch health care providers reportedly, which has led to mixed reactions. And
some teachers say that the switch puts them in an impossible situation and they must find new providers with very little time. DC News Now's Haley Milan covers Northern Virginia. She spoke to one of those teachers and school officials.
Joshua Fold is a 16-year veteran of APS, and during that time, he and his wife have built their healthcare teams within the Kaiser Permanente healthcare network. Now they have just a couple months to start from scratch. But for some of his colleagues, it's even more dire, such as for his friend with a cancer diagnosis.
That teacher told me the story of a cancer diagnosis. He's in remission now. But the last test didn't come out so good.
Fold says that teacher will lose access to his entire healthcare team come December 31st, as will about 4,800 other people on the Kaiser healthcare plan, which covers more than half of APS employees.
I don't think there is a human who could blame that teacher for wanting to leave a school system to keep their health care.
Many are in similar binds, having spent decades building their healthcare teams within Kaiser. Now they must switch to a CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield plan offering no overlap in providers, losing existing prescriptions, treatment plans, specialist appointments, the list goes on.
This is a pretty colossal screw up.
Arlington Education Association President June Prakash says that APS failed several times in the healthcare procurement process, that the division first bungled the proposal process, leaving Kaiser out of the bidding altogether, then sitting on the news until after the school year began, leaving no time for teachers to leave for another school district. One school board member called for an audit into the process.
That is one step in the right direction.
Fold says there's no fixing this, as he spends his entire day off researching new providers.
The people at the very top of the school system, the one they're in charge of the well-being of thousands of employees, and they couldn't understand the impact of this. That's why people are angry.
Reporting from our Northern Virginia Bureau, I'm Haley Mylon, DC News Now.